Chapter 26, Diamond Rain. Back home, after the hugely successful Hatchet Rising tour, Alex called Joey and I into his office along with Billy and Rob. They were all simple and blunt. What's up with the sixth? We still didn't know. The time was now. No more stalling or beating around the bush. It was time for the sixth Joker's card. What would it be? What would it be called? Why was the Dark Carnival not giving us the goods like it always had? It had always just seemed so easy. All previous 5 cards just popped up like we had always known them. Joey could grab a pen and draw them bad boys' images up in seconds in the past. It was that simple. Knowing their names and image was as easy as knowing our own. Not this time around, I guess. Alex and the rest had a strategy planned out for us.
Take some time off and get yourselves together. We're going to give you guys a long-ass break. We'll say that ICP has gone into hiding. You guys won't do one single interview, photo, or anything until the Gathering 2002, which is about 8 fucking months away. Then you guys can come back fully charged, fully reloaded, and ready to do that damn thing. Take some time off. Record your album. Take all the time you need to make the master devastating album. Do whatever you need to do.
We were all good with that, especially me. This was the very first time since we started ICP that Joey and I intentionally were taking a break from the game. The only thing was, we weren't really taking a break at all. We were just taking a break from working at home. One night, a few weeks later, I had just finished eating my favorite fat-ass noodle and sour cream dinner, just like every other night I'm home. When I was sitting there in my house, smoking on a joint, I stood up and looked at myself in the mirror. I looked deep into my own eyes that now looked to me like they were sunken into my fat face. My tired eyes both looked blackened and sunk from NyQuil. My hair was long and matted in 4 different colors. It had just grown wild for the last year and a half or so. I looked like shit. I sat there, high as hell, looking into my own face, and I was disgusted. I thought, who the fuck is this kid with my eyes in his head? I was sick to myself. I was sick with myself, not only at my looks, but with what I had become as a person. Weak, tired, slow. I needed to go someplace different now. I needed to get away from everything that was currently me. I remember it so clearly, putting on my shoes, and I started to walk out of the house. I grabbed my headphones, and I started walking down the block. It was dark, late at night, and I could see stars chilling. I haven't noticed that shit in a grip. I got down to the end of the block, and I was proud of myself for at least moving. I felt like a fat slug, already sweating from walking only 1 block. It felt good to be out though, being outside, not in a car, on my own 2 feet. Then I started running, but I was too fucking fat. I got tired too fast. I quickly felt all the extra me clinging onto my body that wasn't really me. I couldn't believe how out of shape I had gotten. It had been so long since I walked anywhere. I couldn't run at all, but I could walk. I walked that night until my fucking feet were sore and had blisters. I came home, looked at my feet, blisters everywhere, and I had hardly gone anywhere compared to the walking we did in the Picker Forest days of my life. I stood there and took off my clothes. I looked at myself naked. I looked like a giant snowman with 2 charcoal eyes. I'm gonna have fat kid love forever. Fuck what you heard. But this is not who I am. This ain't the way I regularly am. This is stress, panic attack medication, bad road food, too much NyQuil sleep, more stress, more panic attacks, all of that shit that was going on in my life, all that I was going through had turned me into somebody that was a virtual stranger to me. I was going through this, but this is not part of me. What if I had to fight for my life after a nuclear war? What if only the strong survived? My fat ass would be dead without a car or a pizza. Motherfucker, I own me, and I wanted me back, but without all this extra shit surrounding me. That night when I got back from my first walk in years and years, I didn't reach for the chips. I said to myself, those are faggot chips. For every chip I eat, a homo gets to gently rub my balls. I didn't touch them. The next night, I walked again. This time, I wore 2 pairs of socks. It still hurt my feet. So this is what I did, and I made failure not an option. Just like when we started ICP, failing was never even a possibility. If you never ever make failing an option, how can it happen? You'll naturally search for whatever is a possibility. In this case, success. You would be so surprised what you can do when failure or giving up flat out just ain't one of your choices. I told myself I had to walk no matter what. Feel hurt? So what? Pain? So fucking what? No time? Make time. Hound dogs are out there? Bring an ink pen, motherfucker. Walk, you fat bitch. Walking became my Joe Bruce hobby. I know me again. Headphones make music sound so good too. I know me again. I also became reunited more than ever with the outdoors. Bugs, trees, birds, possums, bats, squirrels, raccoons, and all that fresh, overlooked shit when you're an adult. I could write a whole fucking nother book about my walking adventures. One thing you are forced to do when you're out walking is think. And I thought about the 6 and what needed to be said. I thought about the butterfly and how one day we have to return to that state of pureness that we were in when we made that vow. When is someday? What am I waiting for? The 6 Jokers card is at bat. More than anything, I thought about time. How it seems like yesterday when I saw that clown dropping the cards in my dream. Now it's here, the last card. Seems like yesterday we were at Kinko's making up a flyer for the 2nd Joker's card and talking about what would it be like to actually be in the days of the 6th. Yet here we are, facing the days of the 6th. I thought about time and how some ninjas first discovered ICP when they were only 12 or 13 years old, and how now these ninjas are like 35, 40 years old, still representing. Motherfuckers have been waiting for the 6th their whole life. I even thought about Vinny, the kid from Shockumentary, and how he grew up a juggalo. What does he expect of the mighty 6 Jokers card? I thought about time and how far we've come in the last decade, about Carnival of Carnage and how it's now considered a classic, yet it seemed like we just dropped it last month. How could this be? I thought about Isham, Joey's brother John Kickjazz. I thought about Greasy and all our history. I thought about how I'm older now and fatter now, and whether or not I really am old and fat, or if I can fix any of that. There's nothing I can do about growing older all the time except have a bomb-ass legacy, create a bomb-ass history for myself, leave a bomb-ass story, every chapter more exciting than the last. I got to be young and wild. I had my turn. Let's see a 10th of the young and wild ninjas of today do with their life what we did with ours. I have a love for teenage kids because I envy that part of life so much. That was such a crazy period of time. My favorite time because friends mean the world to me, and at that age, they're always around. I look at all these younger kids at our shows, and I see them wearing shit that I'm not hip to. They say lingo I don't know. They shake hands in styles I'm not fucking familiar with. They talk about bands I ain't never heard of. And they don't know shit about the shit I loved. They don't know shit about NWA Paris and the Ghetto Boys. Are those groups nerdy and old school to the ninjas of today the same way Devo and El DeBarge were to us when we were their age? Somebody tell me what the fuck happened. Where did all this time go? I understand something now. Those years, being a teenager, they're extremely vital and important. And here's why. Because those are the years when you first become who you are. When you're born up until 11 or 12, you're an adolescent, you're just a child, you're not making decisions for yourself, you're not making choices, you're not out there developing you yet. But when you become a teenager, you start to choose who you hang with, how you dress, what you listen to. And those years become the most fascinating of your entire life. When you first start staying out overnight, when you first go out and get fucked up on the weekends, when you first get some Neddin', when you first experience riding with a car full of homies, all bumping your favorite music together, making the rules yourself, no guardian in the car, just you and the homies. When you first experience those summers like that music, whatever it is, those years, that music you're listening to, you will cherish for the rest of your life. Because that music, the soundtrack playing when you were becoming you, and that music will represent you and hold a place in your heart for the rest of your history, my friends. I understand that now. That knowledge comes with time. You can see it clearly. People always want us to remake the albums they first discovered us on. Like, for example, they say, I wish your new album would sound more like Riddlebox. That's because when they first discovered you, the Riddlebox album was out and it was current. And they want that feeling again, that feeling of really them discovering themselves for the first time. And no album we put out will ever bring that feeling back to that person except Riddlebox. That is your Riddlebox. And believe me, the albums that we release today are somebody, somewhere's favorite eternal album. It's their moment. They're young. They're wild. They're with their homies out wilding, smoking a blunt or sucking a titty nipple for the first time in their life, knuckle deep in a Neddin' for the first time in their life. Whatever's playing, whatever that radio is bumping is going to be held in their heart forever. Even our new shit, time continues, motherfucker. Even when you dry up and blow away, the world keeps moving because time is the most powerful thing on earth. Walking is my own time to think. I think hard as fuck. Spoons bend when I walk by houses because I'm thinking so hard. I spent most of my time thinking about time. So many of the chicks who would come see me from various cities every time I came to town no longer came out to see me. They just moved on. They grew out of it. It's all new chicks now. I think about the old ones and I hope they're okay. I understand people growing out of hanging out, waiting for me backstage. I would have done that too. I just hope they don't regret it. I'm just thankful they let me play a role in their lives, even a small one. I just kept thinking about time, fucking time. All my old Ferndale enemies, are they still my enemies? If I bumped into one of them at a supermarket right now, would it go down? Or would we just walk past each other with our kids and our families and smile and nod? Or would there be a fucking fight in aisle 7? I don't know. What about Mike Olson? I can't lie to myself. I don't want to beat that kid's ass anymore. I'm not still mad at him. Or am I? I don't want to spend the rest of my fucking life having enemies everywhere, being fucking pissed off all the time. That sucks. Fuck watching your back every 2 seconds. It gets old as fuck. I was definitely having new thoughts as I was out there walking night after night. I was brainstorming for the 6th. I kept thinking about time and how it's changed me. I wondered what I can have back and what I can't. Could I have back my health and my strength? But I could not have back my old friendships. People grow up and of course they change. And people also tend to hang out with people in their own age range. Well, in ICP's case, it's not that easy. Most ninjas in the crowd and at everything we do are usually younger than us, sometimes much younger. It's hard as hell not to feel like an old ass all the time. If they only knew how quick being that young age is over. If they only knew how quick that youth dries up. But who wants to tell somebody something like that? Hey, young healthy ninja getting all them skins. Just so you know, you're on a time limit and the clock's ticking, motherfucker. Have a good night. Not something you want to share with everybody all the time. Finally, the 6th. I walked every night for weeks, thinking and masterminding a new, powerful, insane clown posse invasion. And when I get home from walking, Joey and I would talk on the phone so long, my fucking ear would get hot and sweaty and turn into a suction cup on the earpiece. I fucking hated that. Thinking, brainstorming, and planning how we should do this 6th daddy and how we should do it bigger, brighter, louder, and stronger, harder, faster, more devastating than ever. Finally, we had laid out all the blueprints. They were blue all right, blue and white like the clouds in the sky. We knew what we had to do. If it was the 6th Joker's card and it was our last Joker's card, it was time to deliver. We needed to deliver the last and final increment into our 10-year saga in 2 parts to fully get the message across. We needed to give each one its own turn, its own time in the spotlight, with a tour and videos and all of that for each one at a time. What is the end to the story? What is the ending to the Dark Carnival story? It's no fucking wonder it never popped into my head all easy like. I knew it already. It's death. Heaven or hell, right? Just like the first Joker's card, Carnival of Carnage, was the arrival of the show. The last is the ending of the show. Show's over and death is here. It's heaven or hell for all of us. There you go. We believe that's the ending to all of our lives, and therefore that's the ending of the Dark Carnival storyline as well. We've said it all along. Death. And what's after that? Heaven or hell. One for the true Shangri-La, and one for the rest.
Hell's Pit.
Who would be the 6th Joker's card? What would be the name? We decided to call the 6th and final Joker's card
The Wraith.
We named it that, but we really don't even know what death calls itself. Nobody does. Once he tells you, you're dead anyway, right? So how the fuck would anybody know? So we'll just be content with calling him The Wraith. From the very first day we started the 6-card countdown, we always imagined the 6 being the elite album. We knew that we needed to make that vision become real. We needed to record this at the finest studios we could find in the country with the top of the line mix and soundboards only. We needed fresh, new, hungry Mike P's crazy heart and super talent to put down with the music. We had a name, we had a theme, and a message to tell. We were fucking more than ready. Dallas, Texas. We headed right to our favorite place ever since we spent all that time there when Alex's infamous dart landed on Dallas, Texas. Right away, we recorded some of the best music of our lives. We stayed at the budget suites, chock full of hookers, crackheads, junkies, and fine-ass titty dancers staying everywhere around us. It was Joey and I, along with Zug Island Sin, Mike P, and Lil Pig, aka Ashley, the drummer of Zug Island. Also, Sabu, and sometimes Matt Lethal. That was our crew. Yes, Sabu stayed in Dallas with us. He even wrestled on a show there. And who was his opponent? It was Joey, under a mask. After all, we were still very much in hiding, so he wore a standard wrestling mask. It was the shit. Those were some of the greatest days of my life, if you only fucking knew. We all bought motorized scooters like the ones we had at Woodstock, and at night we would put on our psychopathic blankets as capes, and we'd ride through the Dallas streets in a pack, 7 midnight riders, out soaking up some of our favorite home away from home karma. Dallas was great. Behind the studio was this tree that we had fallen in love with. It was a single, lone tree that for some reason people decided not to cut down when they were laying down the parking lot. For some reason, in the middle of this huge lake of cement stood this lone surviving tree. Yes, right in the middle of everything, it was there and it was alive. There seemed to be miles of open parking lot and concrete jungle surrounding it. And there it stood, proud and alive. We would hang out under that tree and smoke pounds of icky. I got some sad news one night in Dallas. After studio, while we were all sitting up at a titty bar, this chick came up to me and asked,
"Are you Violent J? Do you know Jenny blah blah blah?"
Same fucking question, different name. "No, that name don't sound familiar," I replied.
"Well, you should know her. You fucked her,"
the girl shot back. Suddenly, I became interested, as well as my dick piece. I don't understand. Who is this person?
"Well, she's a person you got with a long time ago, and I just thought you should know that she's dead."
I was like, whoa, hold up. Who is she? The dancer went on to explain that she was a friend of the girl who I got to get with all night long back in 1997 on the Great Malenko Tour. The Pulp Fiction chick. The chick who made me throw up from so much sex. Damn. The one when I was getting with the two chicks at once. She's the girl who knocked on the door and asked if she could join us. Remember? The Pulp Fiction hottie. But damn, she passed away. I asked her how, and she said,
"Heroin overdose."
So Stell. Turns out, a few years after our encounter, she got bad into heroin, and then she overdosed, I guess. That really fucking sucks, man. I only knew her for that one night of my life, and all we did was sex it up all night long. But it was fucking incredible, and it was a fucking strong connection. Her friend even told me that the night we spent together was just as fresh to her as it was to me. She told me the girl talked about it all the time, the same way I even told you ninjas about it in this very audiobook. She had thought highly of that incredible night as well. Man, I even wrote about it with the utmost respect in the lyrics to Welcome to the Show on the Wraith in Shangri-La. I say this line.
I got men waiting on me up in Shangri-La.
When we weren't out riding our scooters, I was walking and fucking loving it. And I was eating right. Now I had something to listen to. Our new mixes. That made walking so much fresher. The more I walked, the more I loved it. The more I loved it, the more I walked. Man, I'm out here in fucking Dallas at one of the world's finest recording studios with 7 of my best friends making history, recording the 6. Things are looking pretty fucking good. Why am I always such a dick? Hanging out and recording in Dallas, Texas was the beginning of the creation of the 6th card. That studio was so fresh. The monitor was actually a projector, and it was like 12 feet tall, 16 feet wide. Everybody in the room could just stare at everything they're seeing on the screen. It was a devastating place, and there were great engineers, and Mike P was in the prime of his game, coming up with incredible music that was inspiring, incredible songs. To this day, I cherish the 6th card, Shangri-La, and more than that, I cherish the days, and these were the beginning days. It was just getting brighter and brighter and lighter and lighter. The days seemed warmer, the sky seemed crisper, the water seemed colder, everything seemed perfect. It was like diamond rain had started falling upon our lives. It was amazing. Making an album about Shangri-La, every topic, every song somehow touching and thinking about the beauties of Shangri-La, concentrating, thinking, brainstorming, all about the wonders of the heavens above us, made life so positive at this time, so off the hook. We delve so deep into our music. It's so much a part of our heart and soul, the music we create. Suddenly, we're creating music about the heavens, and suddenly we were glowing. It was infectious. We had diamond rain clouds just above us. We could walk into a dark room and literally bring light to the room just by shining that fucking hard. Vegas. The day we showed up at the Vegas studio and we asked the studio guy if he knew where we could land some good tree, he responded by saying, "Yep, I figured you guys might be looking." So we decided to say, "Welcome to Las Vegas," with a little gift. The ninja pulled out a wooden box for us, and inside the box there were 3 ounces of weed, 3 different types of California's finest bud. I was fucking shocked. Were we out fucking hookers, partying every night? Nothing of the sort. We were in that studio making more of the best music we'd ever have. I walked through that Vegas desert. I walked up and down those steps to those giant casinos. I walked through those casinos. I walked up and down that Vegas strip. I was under the hot sun when I wrote the lyrics to Hell's Forecast, when it goes, "The sun was so hot, so hot, I was burning." Those very lyrics were written under the Vegas sun while walking through an actual desert. My favorite place to walk in Vegas, though, was the abandoned neighborhood near the airport. I guess the airport had bought out an entire neighborhood in order to make an expansion or whatever. So this neighborhood was currently abandoned. The houses were all dark. The streets were all dark. No street lights, no cars, no nothing. Thinking, I loved walking through there at night, listening to my music, dodging the security guard trucks, all while thinking. Why does ICP always bitch about shit all the time? We bitch about no MTV, no radio, but why? I mean, so fucking what? Who wants that shit? Of course they're not gonna play. Of course they're not gonna fucking play it. It's all about killing. I'm so fucking glad they don't play it though. Fuck them. Look how fresh it is for us. Look how I'm in Vegas right now with all my fucking homies recording the 6th. Twisted's out on their own tour. They're on the Mirror tour as we speak. Shit is off the hook. Why are we always so pissed about what we ain't got? Why don't we focus on what we do got? We got it all! Nashville, Tennessee. By now, we had some new ninjas out with us. The 6 Jokers card wouldn't be right if we didn't keep the traditional flavor of Rich Legs Diamond Morel and his skills in the mix. He joined us, as well as Anybody Killer, who also came out to lend a hand. The studio was always on jam, full of karma, laughter, and good energy. This studio was located outside of town, so that meant the hotel was pretty much in the middle of nowhere. But it was all fucking better that way. We fucking walked everywhere. We even walked down the train tracks about 5 miles every morning, every other day to get to studio. Mike P would load up the shit and he would drive, and the rest of us would all walk down the tracks like hobos. When the trains came by, it was awesome. When we got too thirsty, we would just drink the ice cold fresh spring water pouring right out of the sides of the mountains on both sides of the tracks. No bullshit. I'm talking about, we grew up in Detroit, ninjas. We don't see mountains. Detroit is flatlands. Think Miley Cyrus titties. I'm talking straight, flat plains. And here we are, cutting right through actual mountains in ice, cold, crystal clean, clear spring water is actually dripping, flowing nonstop out of the mountain on both sides. We would just take handfuls, scoop handfuls of that cold, clean water and feel it replenish our bodies. It was like liquid diamond. I'm telling you, the great creator himself gave us that wonderful cold water to drink and replenish our souls full of maximum karma. Alright, maybe I'm getting a little too deep. All I'm saying is the shit was fucking delicious. It was delicious. Man, I thought too. Let me tell you something. There must have been something in that fucking water, because my life was changing more and more by the day. I felt like that June bug we saw in Mary Wool's backyard. I was starting to see things in full color for the first time. I felt like I was shedding my old, dead, gray, crunchy, crispy, dried up body, and now spreading my fresh, healthy, muscular, colorful wings for the first time and taking off in flight through the cool skies, in and out of white clouds, yellow sun rays, and diamond rain. One day, while we were all walking down the train tracks, Isham called me out of nowhere. How he got my number, I have no idea. I was like, "What's up, man? Holy shit." It was on. Isham had gone through so much shit since we last talked that those stories are worth 5 books alone, and we'll save them for those 5 books. But to make a long story short, Isham's brother James had landed in prison on some bullshit, and Isham was left for himself as Real Life Productions slowly crumbled without James there to man the ship. Isham had signed with a couple of bullshit labels, but basically nobody knew how to correctly promote the wicked shit. Isham knew it was time we joined forces, and we did this together like we should have from the start. It was great hearing from Isham, and even greater that he was joining the label and the hatchet was going to be even stronger. Yet, wait, no, we shouldn't have. All of this is our own personal histories, and that makes it all good to me no matter what. I told Isham that from here on out, instead of always digging 2 tunnels through the underground, we will now join forces and dig 1 super tunnel. With Isham on Psychopathic, that makes everybody in my book. That's all of Detroit's wicked shit kings. That's all that mattered to us. They're all running with the hatchet. We were truly the rulers of the wicked shit. We had all the heavy hitters, baby. Blaze, ABK, Twisted, and now fucking Isham. What now? I felt like Michael Jackson in the Billie Jean video. Wherever I was standing, the floor was glowing. Things in my life were turning over. Isham on Psychopathic? Holy fuck. Things are so good. Feels like it really is raining actual diamonds. I also walked that night there too. Thanks to my homie Matt Lethal, I discovered good shoes are New Balance. My feet still got blisters on them all the time, but not hardly as many now that I was rocking my New Balance. One night while listening to the roughs of murder rap on my headphones and feeling extra hype, I tried running again. Incredibly, I felt a lot better than when I tried to run back on my block at home. I ran until I got too winded. Then I stopped and walked it off, and as soon as I had my wind again, I ran again. This would be my new routine from here out. The album was changing me forever. It sounded so magical to me. I couldn't believe we could sound this good. Mike P's skills were blowing my mind. I was hypnotized for life by the race Shangri-La and by the sounds we were using. We mixed it down to every single sound. Every hi-hat, every snare had to be crisp and clean like the Chronic album. We wanted this to sound like a Michael Jackson production. We wanted nothing but the best for the 6. I know what you're thinking. Listen to him trying to sell that album. Well, if you're thinking that, you can suck my whole dick hole. And then when you're finished, you can lick the bottom of my balls if you'd like. If you wouldn't like, you can stick to the shaft, cause I know you love that. This is the whole fucking point. This is what this album did for me. It was like a giant spiritual healing for us. For Shaggy, myself, and for a great many Juggalos. It's been out for over 10 years now, and we couldn't be prouder. We couldn't be happier with the results. Shit, Shangri-La might not have done a fucking thing for you. My point is that for us, it was like finding the key to another personal paradise where it rains diamond rain daily. I guess you wouldn't understand. Had to be there. Back home in Detroit, we finished the album, and things for us only got brighter. We finalized the deal with Isham. He was finally family. We hung tight every day and caught up. We talked about the old school so much, it was like living in a time machine and being there again. We drove around Zug Island looking for cool places to shoot videos every other night after studio. Plus, I kept right on running, and my running got longer and stronger with walks farther and fewer in between. Eventually, no more walking at all, just running non-stop, Forrest Gump style. Man, I looked on the internet and I read. They said Violent J gave himself that award at the Christmas party last year. They said Violent J is a dick. They called me fat, conceited, stale, evil, awful, crooked, snaky, even gay. This and all of the so-called Juggalo chat rooms and websites, message boards, and all that. Then I thought about something. Jay and Silent Bob, when in their movie, they beat down the 15-year-old punks for talking shit about them on the internet. How fucking funny is that? Man, ain't that the truth? That's all it is. I remember watching that movie in Twisted's bus. I was alone. When that part came on, I felt fucking stupid. My whole face was red and nobody was even there. I was embarrassed at my fucking self. I was embarrassed in front of myself because it all hit me about how stale the internet really is. Fucking Facebook. People live and exist in a Facebook world. I choose to live in a physical world of reality. That's all it really is. Some suburban young ass kids living with their parents and talking big shit from their bedroom with no chance of ever actually facing us or even meaning what they say. That's when I realized that those chat rooms are like video game malls. Anybody can go in and say whatever they want to anybody they want. But it ain't reality. They even got fake cyber fucking. What? That's fresh somehow. How? That's why people are so cruel on the internet, because they ain't really there. They're so brave because it's only a mockery of real life. There are no pretty people, no ugly people. Nobody is strong, nobody's weak. There is no individuality in the internet world. Punks can easily be thugs there. Gay boys can front and be girls. Nerds can be studs. Hoes can diss killers. The fact is, it has almost no use for people like me who actually can hold their own out there in the real world. I fuck real neddens and I blow out real chins. Fuck talking shit posting on Facebook. Technology is fucking crazy. We keep searching and searching for ways to make shit easier and easier for us. They even have remote controls for car stereos now, so you only have to move your finger instead of your finger and your arm. The internet makes things super easy for people, so they don't even gotta leave their bedroom and go out and socialize. You know what? The only problem is you can't touch, taste, or feel shit. I'm all about all three of them when I'm fucking, so the internet can't do nothing for me. I threw it all away, y'all. My whole internet. I threw it away for good. I can't lie, it's gone. I ask our internet guys at the office about the Juggalo sites and what's going on with them all the time. I check out websites for non-related shit when I need to, but no more late nights of bullshit little kids and nerdies getting the best of me. Plus, let me give you Facebook, Juggalo, website ninjas some factual knowledge you may not fully comprehend. There are thousands and thousands of juggalos, legitimate juggalos who don't have computers and don't go online, not through their fucking phone, not through their fucking touchpad, not through their fucking TV. They don't go online and they don't read anything Juggalo yet. And there's thousands of them and they count too. When we said what we said on track 17 of Shangri-La, it wasn't even a question. It had to be said. The story is over. This is the brutal truth to the saga. The ending. That's what we promised. That's what I promised my mom I would say years ago. I always told her we'd clear it all up for everybody on the 6th, Ma. And we did. Look, I look at it like this. I think this is maybe mostly the reason why things have started changing for the brighter and better so much these days. We've been telling a story for so long that we never even bothered to look at anything else. We never looked to the right, or we never looked to the left, or even up and down, because we were always on the same track. Go, look straight ahead. The second Joker's card, and then the third Joker's card, then the fourth. There was never even a reason to look towards anything else other than straightforward for the last 10 years. There was never any reason to develop different ideas because it was already laid out. The plan was already set in motion and nothing was going to change it. Now that the ending has come, it's like the dark, morbid, gruesome track that we'd always been on has suddenly come out of a tunnel that we'd unknowingly been in and blam! Off a cliff. Now we fly out on our own. Blue skies, green oceans, and diamond rain everywhere. That's the only way I can explain it, ninjas. It's not like we didn't love doing the Joker's cards. In fact, we loved it so much, we were fine the whole time. We never missed anything else. We were born to make the wicked shit. Now that the 6 is revealed, we can't help but look around us for new ideas and flavors, and the possibilities are endless. We now see how fucking far we've come. We look behind us and we see how far up the mountain we've actually came. The air is so thin, but the view is so amazing. We know that whatever we do after the 6 is not ever going to be as epic as the original 6 Joker's cards, and that's okay with us. We agree. Them cards, that story, its endings, its meanings, its messages was awesome. That's why we're so happy and proud, so fucking utterly blessed to be chosen to deliver those messages for the Dark Carnival in the Holy Creator. We feel we were nothing more than a vessel to deliver the freshness in the words you understand best and most clearly. But believe you me, we have nothing else to do with it. The magic, the love, the special feeling in your heart, the part of all of this that helped you get through this and that, the inspiration, all came from above, not from me and Shaggy. I'm telling you, we're just a speaker behind the speaker. The actual music, that is from above. That is the Holy Creator. That is the Dark Carnival. I feel like we did something absolutely unheard of in music. Nobody would take 10 years of their lives and devote all them albums and all that time to telling one same story and start off without so much as one listener and somehow end up with over 1 million ears listening by the time we're done. We did it. Now I feel like the rest is up to us from here out. Fuck all limitations and expectations put on by anyone. We kept it real as fuck for everybody. Even if I started singing now, got plastic surgery, and held my baby out the window, them 6 cards are what they are. They are the shit, and just like time can't be reversed, neither can they. We did it, and we did it sweet. Nobody can take that away from ICP. No matter what we do, no matter what kind of scandal erupts, even if we fucking lay down and sleep and just become fucking couch slobs for the rest of our fucking life, scratching our nuts, throwing beers behind our back. You know what? We're still the shit. 'Cause we set out to do something and we accomplished it. Now that all 6 Joker cards are out, nothing can fuck that up. There will always be those 6 bad boys chilling to our name. I can be proud of that for the rest of my days. And everything we do that ever comes out after Hell's Pit until we die, you can consider all that extra credit. Despite that ICP was still in hiding until the upcoming gathering, I was trying my best not to be seen anywhere. I wanted to hang with Twisted out on their tour, so I stayed on the low. I flew out and rode with them for a couple days, maybe 3 or 4 times on the Mirror Mirror tour. It's always been a dream of mine to be able to do that, to just be able to roll out anytime I want and ride along with some homies of mine out on tour. I couldn't see the shows because I had to stay hidden, but I could hang out and smoke it up with my road dogs all day and night on the bus. Seeing them on their own tour was some of the best shit ever. Watching their road crew, watching Jamie and Paul run the ship the same way Joey and I run ours, it was just great. We taught them the ropes, and they taught Blaze and ABK the ropes. In many ways, with us, acts on Psychopathic, there's more than just rapping involved. Just rapping gets you just rap fans. To them, you're just a rapper. You'll be gone as quick as you came in with that just a rapper shit. When you're as deep-rooted underground as us, the only way to sell a record is hands-on. We know all the hands-on secrets at Psychopathic because we've mastered it. The secret is hard work. That's what we do. Straight up hands-on shit. Hands-on promotion. Hands on your neck. If you don't buy our shit, we'll choke you until you do. That's called hands-on promotion, hatchet style. Driving on the way to the gathering 2002 in Peoria, I was at 1000%. Joey was better than ever. We felt like we were in our prime because we hadn't even been that excited about being ICP since we started being ICP. We were all in a long convoy of cars. Twisted, Blaze, ABK, Esham, Zug Island, all of us. Man, I had butterflies in my stomach the whole way there from Detroit. Joey and I hadn't faced even one Juggalo in 8 long months. We knew what the 6 was like. We knew what it sounded like. We knew what it revealed. We more than knew. Fuck, we even had it in our pockets. What would they think of it? Once we tell them what it is, what it's called, once we show them what it looks like, there's no turning back. That's it. Our official 6 Jokers card will be revealed. We've been asked, so what's the 6 gonna be? More than any other question in our career. Ever since Carnival of Carnage dropped, we've been being asked, so what's the 6 gonna be? Hey, so what's up with the 6? What are you guys gonna do for the 6? You wouldn't fucking believe how many times that question had been asked. No more cards follow the 6. It's the ending to the saga that is the Dark Carnival. ICP has never been without Joker card mysteries surrounding us. Once the world knows the 6th, there is no more mystery to us. Did that bother us? Maybe during the last few years of the countdown, but as soon as we got to this point, it became magnificent. It's like real magic because we feel like we accomplished something so historically fresh in underground rap. We fucking couldn't wait to get to Peoria and get it on. Of course, the gathering was unfuckwittable. As usual, it blew away everybody who came. Despite the riot and the tear gas, it was all fun and games. People everywhere were telling me that I had lost mad weight. I was super proud. People were telling us they loved us and had missed us the whole time. I couldn't believe the positive love Juggalos were showing Joey and I. Man, all that shit I had been reading on the internet was so small and minute compared to what's really going on. These ninjas weren't reading that dumb shit. If they were, it went in one eyeball and out the other. They didn't take that shit to heart like my old self did. This was real love. Fuck what you read on the internet. Juggalos were tripping that Isham was there too. We hadn't announced that he was now running with a hatchet, and Juggalos were going crazy over his appearance. Bubba Sparks was set to perform. Mac 10 was set to perform. It was awesome, but Bubba Sparks got booed off badly. He came out a little too cocky and took 10 minutes or something to finally come out after his own DJ had been calling him out the whole time. When he finally did come out, he kept saying some shit like, "Y'all can't fuck with Bubba. Y'all don't know Bubba. Y'all ain't ready for Bubba." Finally, the 8,000 Juggalos said, "Well, fuck Bubba." Fuck it, you're right. We ain't ready for no motherfucking Bubba. Get the fuck out of here and bring out Mac 10 and them. One thing sucked for me personally at that year's gathering. I was so excited about performing because I was in so much better shape. All the nights of running and running and running and all that preparation, I was so ready to put it down live. Finally, my chance had come. The first night of the gathering, Dark Lotus had just taken the stage, and I was so energetic and hyped. I ran for my first stage dive in a while. I jumped off a stage monitor, but the monitor was plastic and lightweight, and it rolled up from right under my foot. I fell backward like Pluto slipping on a banana. I busted myself in half. I fell in between the stage and the barricade and landed back first. I laid there completely unable to breathe. The wind completely knocked out of me. A gang of security guards all attempted to pick me up, but I had to shake my head. No, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. I just needed to catch my wind. I moved my legs and arms to see if I still could and to make sure I wasn't paralyzed. Slowly but surely, my wind came back into my lungs. As I lay there trying to breathe, this is what I thought. I can't breathe very well. My back feels fucked up, but I still feel the shine. That fresh feeling that the six gave me was still there. I started to stand up and head around to the back of the stage. There, I leaned against the stage and just breathed and kept thinking, just get back up there, finish it out. Look how fresh this shit is right now. Don't let this derail you. Right in the middle of your comeback, on the first stage dive of your first return, shit happens. As I stood there in pain, I finished out the show. I thought, I'm still here doing this for a living, so now my back hurts. Shit is still all good. Even with a feeble, fucked up, folded back, I can still see the diamond rain, so it's all okay. I could still see it even when I was laying there dead. I can still see it today. I only pray it never goes away. The very next day, with my broken back and broken wrist from the Dark Lotus fall, I actually loaded up on Vicodins. I'm not gonna lie, this is how it really happened, y'all. I fucking loaded my body up on Vicodins, and I got in the ring that afternoon and I wrestled. I did the best I could despite my broken limbs. The same thing that night. I got up on stage and did another concert. And after that, after the wrestling and the concert, I still had the energy to fuck a chick. Not only a chick, Missy Hyatt. From back in WCW wrestling days, she was the hot TV announcer. She now looked more like a middle-aged porn star and didn't look anything like she used to on TV. In my mind, I still knew it was Missy Hyatt, and we had brung her in for JCW, and I was chock full of fucking Vicodins and broken bones, and I said, come here, bitch. I used to masturbate to you when I was 14. Now I'm gonna fuck the real thing. And I laid pipe. That's right, I knocked her fucking boots. We weren't just knocking the bed on the wall, we almost came through the fucking wall into the other room. I just had to tell you that. If there's any wrestling fans out there, please appreciate and also recognize that this was 2002. Don't go pulling her up on the internet now, seeing what she looks like and being like, oh man, what the fuck? Because she was much finer back in 2002. I somehow managed, fueled on Vicodins, to stay alive and finish the entire gathering in one piece. But when I went back home, I was merely a sack of busted and broken organs, laying out, spread out across my couch like a fucking dead sack of laundry. And I stayed there for months. The gathering was over and it was a huge success, except for the mini riot that broke out on the second day when a police officer attempted to arrest a juggalette for showing her nipples. This, by the way, marked the final indoor gathering. This was the last time the gathering of the Juggalos was held at an indoor convention center. The very next year, we held it outdoors at a campground, a private campground, and we've been doing the same ever since. Nowadays, titty nipples are free to point left and point right and gently blow in the breeze all they like. They can be soft nipples or they can be hard nipples. They can have tiny little thin areolas or big fat pancake areolas. You can let only one titty hang out if that's all you have, or you can let all three of your titties hang out if you've got an extra one. It just doesn't matter. You can finally let titties freely be exposed, and the weed can be smoketh, and the cursing can be cussed, and the debauchery can be debauched, and the madness can unfold in privacy, in the woods, within family. But long after this gathering was over, I finally had to see a doctor about my busted and broken ass. The doctor was heated at me. He said, "You're a fool, Mr. Lee. You're a damn fool." They always call me Mr. Lee because I sign my name as Joe Bruce Lee on anything I can, just to be a dick. So whenever I hear Lee, I know that's me. I don't really care about what I'm signing anyway, because it's just a bill. The doctor told me that when I fell that night, I had not only broken my wrist, I had also cracked a vertebrae in my back. Vertebrae D12 at that. We handed the album in and it went to press. Now that we were out of hiding, it was time to see the nation's Juggalos once again. We did a nationwide haunted house tour for the entire month of October 2002. Esham and Anybody Killer came with us on the entire tour. We would appear someplace within each haunted house, and the Juggalos would have to find us. It was mad fun. We would just pop out and scare the shit out of Juggalos, give them a dap, and they would move on. It was fun. The only problem was that some of these haunted houses, not all of them, but some of these snake-ass haunted houses would jack up their prices for the day we were there, when the whole event was supposed to be just free and fun. Some of them we walked out on, and others, as soon as we start seeing the same Juggalos twice, we knew it was time to leave. The whole thing was kind of a ripoff, because ninjas were paying 20 and 25 bucks just to come through a haunted house and see us for 10 seconds. We were not getting paid 1 penny for this, and we hated seeing those haunted houses get big bank off some bullshit just meant to be fresh. One haunted house wasn't shit but an emptied out office building with some carpeted floors and some office divider walls making a cheap maze. There were some black lights up and a fancy drop ceiling above. We were glad to end that tour. Nonetheless, getting on the road again was tight as fuck for us, even if it was to jump in and out of haunted houses. Record release parties for the album were set up all over the country. 10 record release parties the night of November 4th, the night before the album dropped, and 8 more record release parties were held the following night of the 5th, the day the album came out. Twisted did 2 parties, Anybody Killer did 2 parties, Rudy and Sabu, and on. We divided up the whole army and everybody worked together collectively as a unit to bring the ChzBrgr card to life. Joey and I did a party in Boston. The next day we were in LA. It hit the streets. The 6th was out. Juggalos straight up cried. The ChzBrgr card means something to all Juggalos, yet it has its own meanings and has its own relationship with each and every Juggalo. Hearing so bluntly what they have always known was a hard pill for many to swallow. Once it's swallowed, it's all to the good. We made it clear as we could over and over again before it came out. Either Juggalos are with us or they should just forget us. We stand behind every lyric on this album. We support it forever. Now that the story's ending is out and the Juggalo world knows what to expect, it's like the cat's out of the bag, and it's not a letdown. It's out, and it's fresh as hell. I'm not gonna lie. A great deal of Juggalos hated it. They hated what we said. They hated, I don't know if they so much hated the album and the music. They just hated what we said on track 17 when we said the Dark Carnival is God. And just to clarify, when we said God, we meant the Holy Creator. Any God, Allah, Buddha, any God by any name. It don't matter. Whoever your Holy Creator is, we're saying have faith and believe in a Holy Creator. Just know there is a more powerful force above us. Believe. I don't care what science tells you. I don't care what the world tells you and how they mislead you. Always have faith. Believe there is magic. Believe is all we're trying to say. And this, the magic you feel within the music, this ICP, the Juggalo world, this is all a product of the Dark Carnival. And the Dark Carnival is God. Yes, thousands of Juggalos did not like what we said at all on track 17. Yet others, thousands and thousands, they fucking absolutely adored it because it's a message forever. The Shangri-La album may have come out when you were only 25, and you may have heard that message and thought, man, fuck that corny shit, whatever. But 20 years later, son, when you got 3 children and a wife, and you're looking at your children, and you're looking at your life, you may see things differently, motherfucker. And if you don't yet, maybe you will in 20 more years. But eventually, you may look at the Holy Creator in a different light, motherfucker. And when you do, like say, when you're on your deathbed, and you're facing death eye to eye, and you really start to think about that Holy Creator and that afterlife, maybe then you will appreciate the ChzBrgr card and our final message. It's a message meant for all time. Even if it don't make sense when you first hear it, one day hopefully it will. And if it never ever makes sense to you, I guess you were never ever meant to hear it. We quickly went back out on tour to do 7 quick shows to work off the rust before we began the massively huge Shangri-La World Tour, which includes dates in Australia and once again all throughout Europe. When we played these 7 cities, we called it the Diamond Rain Tour. We brought with us the entire Hatchet family, Twisted, Blaze, ABK, and everybody we got all came out to the show to respect the era of the 6 Jokers card. We hadn't been on tour in so long that when I got back out there, I couldn't believe what I had been missing. It was just like the old days of ICP. I could move again. I could breathe, rap, stage dive, and be suicidal. I was back in shape like I always had been when I was younger, and I planned on staying like that forever. Even Jump Steady came out with us and did the Chaos Theory, which was his release on Psychopathic. He performed it live on the Diamond Rain Tour. The Diamond Rain Tour really was a special event if you were lucky enough to catch one of those dates, because it featured the entire Hatchet family performing together. Jump Steady performed with several different hype men, including Tom Dub, Psychopathic, and yep, even the one and only Rude Boy stood in once or twice as Jump Steady's hype man. Well, after the 6 dropped, I became a new ninja. I ran so much, my feet gave the road blisters. Everything in my life was full color. I didn't even take NyQuil or Vicodins anymore. I quit that shit. Not that I was against it or anything. Just thanks to the incredible wonders of weed, I didn't need that other shit anymore. That's right, weed. Blaze your dead homie. Finally, one day, talked me into hitting the blunt, and it seemed to right my every chemical imbalance, believe it or not. Even my psychiatrist believes it. She told me to keep smoking. I didn't even need panic attack medicine anymore. You absolutely would never believe how much my life had changed in that year. Not just for temporary, but forever. I feel like I know the answers to so many questions I've always had. There's so much more that makes sense now that all 6 Jokers cards have been revealed. I definitely know that we did it. I feel like we're kings. How many people actually accomplished their biggest goals in life? We schooled it already, and we weren't even old yet. Was I scared when things were looking bleak during the bizarre days? When the 6 Jokers card hadn't come to me yet? Yeah, I think I was scared. I didn't think I was then, but I think I really was. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad the new days came. Those couple of years there were like bungee jumping. We saw the 6 was ready, it was time and all, but we just couldn't accept it, I guess. Now that we finally did the jump, we never understood what we were scared of to begin with. We want to keep jumping. For the rest of my life from now on, I want to keep jumping and keep telling this legacy, because you know what? It's far from over. I love it these days. We have 0 dark secrets. Joey has 5 children now. He has a beautiful daughter, 4 beautiful sons. He's on cloud 17. We did Big Money Rustlers. The movie came out. And now we're getting ready to start working on our 3rd movie, Big Money Thrusters, the science fiction. Zug Island's Crack Tiles came out and became historical. Anybody Killer's Hatchet Warrior is his best-selling release and is chock full of hits. He still performs live every year from coast to coast. Esham's Acid Rain came out, and he did another album with us, but soon left to go on his own again. I think Isham works best when he's on his own. He's good as a team player for short periods of time, but he's truly a renegade and most talented alone. As of the writing of this book, Joey and I hadn't started working on Hell's Pit yet. We were too busy enjoying the diamond rain. Alex was busy with Psychopathic's team of ninjas as they were currently trying to launch Psychopathic Europe. I know that sounds like some bullshit, but it's the truth. My brother Rob and them had just finished putting together 2003's gathering at Crystal Forest near Cleveland, Ohio, a huge private outdoor campground, our first outdoor gathering when we finally discovered paradise. Absolute fucking paradise. Billy Bill put together the 75-date Shangri-La World Tour, which started 2 weeks after the album came out. Man, when this book came out, we weren't even halfway done with our career. I still don't even think we're halfway done. What's the guarantee that the diamonds will continue to fall? Nothing. Shining is not like riding a bike. It's not like once you learn to shine, you can never forget it. That's not the way it works. The shine for everyday real people comes and it goes. You have to fight to keep it with you as long as you can. I want to thank Hobie, Rob, Rich, and Alex, and my fucking partner in life, Joey, and anybody who has sat through and actually listened to this entire motherfucking book as my shitty voice babbled it out into your fucking ears. I thank you. If you're actually still there, if anybody is awake and still listening, thank you. Thank you much. Much clown fucking love. And I'm out this bitch. And that ended the original book, Behind the Paint. And now we take you into the chapter Never Before Heard.